Hi, James Barry here again with Morris, and we're going to talk to you now about carving tools and how you can keep them very, very sharp very, very quickly using diamond in conjunction with leather strops. First of all, to give you an example, I'm just going to show you what sort of edge I can achieve on something like a hunting knife. So here's a knife that I'm going to use. When you're sharpening with a knife, I'm always asked about angles and what is the optimum angle. To me, it's fairly straightforward and logical. The flatter you work the blade to the knife, the more of a filleting edge. The more of the angle when you're coming up, the more of a boning edge. So with this knife, I'm just placing flat and just slightly up there, and I take it softly and slowly and just let the diamond do the work. Turn over here and come back on this side. It's very important that you do alternate strokes, not 2 or 3 strokes on one side. That is too much. Nice and slowly, I can see exactly what I'm doing. And I'm working here on 1000 grit fine Trent stone. So that's plenty on there. I'm just going to move the stone over there. And then I would use just an ordinary piece of leather with a little bit of honing paste on there. There's nothing fancy about this. You don't have to concern yourself about angles. I'm just applying a bit of polish there, and then I turn this over, and all I'm doing is removing the polish there, which is putting that final little edge on that knife. Now, the best way to prove that I've achieved a reasonable edge is probably with a piece of paper. And what I want to do, I don't really want to cut the paper. What I want to do is rest the blade on the paper, and I'm going to relax my hand and let the weight of the knife do the work, which means that it would do that, and it goes through the paper that quickly. So that, I would suggest, is the sort of edge that you need to achieve if you're working with carving tools. So I'm just going to clean up my mess in front of Morris, and Morris now has been working with carving tools for a few months, and we're going to see what he's come up with. Morris.
James, thank you. What a demonstration.
Thank you.
What I'd like to show you some of the ideas that I've came up with in sharpening a variety of hand and power carving tools, and I'd like to start off with the power tools. These are out of your regular grinder type of carver, and to maintain an edge once it's been established, the general consensus is find your angle and to work that angle on your stone. I find that extremely difficult, and what I've been doing is taking one of the Trend handheld stones. We'll put a little fluid on it using the finer stone, come up on the flat area and rotate that stone across the edge to achieve your new edge in just a matter of seconds.
I guess doing it in a round circular motion like that gives you a fairly constant cut across the surface, as opposed to sort of doing this sort of motion where you're getting an inconsistent cut.
Well, I find that my hand's turning.
Yeah.
And on the larger stone, unless I have some type of a guide, then I find myself doing this up and down.
Yeah.
But with the circular motion, riding on the flatter side or the bevel side, I find that I can maintain a pretty consistent edge that you'll be able to see once you've started using the stone. Can you see that about a 1/16 of an inch where it's dull at the end?
Yeah.
And it's relatively consistent. I can't do that by hand on the larger stone in the conventional manner.
Yeah.
And I find that if you are going to use a supported strop, that it's just a matter of a couple of strokes and take the flat side bring it down to take the wire edge off. You've polished it, and she's ready to go. So. Now, one of the hardest...
It's very key.
It's
very nice.
Did it come out okay?
Yeah, you do surprise me at times.
One of the hardest stones that the carvers tell me they have problems with is the carver's gouge, which has a concave or convex bevel, what I call a bevel. It's a continuous edge, but it's rolled. It's a raised bevel. And conventionally, I've been told that the way to sharpen that would be to raise one edge up, bring the knife back, rotating it to the other edge in this manner. Now I find that works. It's extremely difficult for me to use it that way because I'm a little awkward. But again, with the handheld hones from Trend, I'm able to come up and find the edge, rotate it all the way around. I'm being fairly consistent on the edge that's coming up, and you will find when you turn it over that dull area where she's making contact. Now with the convex surface for what I am calling the bevel, to keep that convex, what I do is I rotate the stone, the hone away from the edge, come around one time just to break any edge that I have put on there or soften it. And I find that maintains that concave or convex surface.
Yeah.
And with these gouges, I find that if I take a piece of leather and wrap it around my finger, I can take the wire edge off fairly easily and then turn it right around and polish what I'm calling the bevel. And you're off and running just in a matter of seconds.
That's a lovely edge, isn't it? Yeah. That's beautiful.